Okay, just to back myself up here, I'm going to put it on camera and upload it. So Giovanni Craig Consalvo's extensive fraud that he committed. This was to get himself out of his own situation he was in when I met him. You see, when I met him, and do you want the proof of documents of this? Let me see my bank statements. Let me go this first, just to show you how much money I had. Because in one bank statement alone, I had 140,000. So I actually passed those bank statements through to the Department of Foreign Affairs to have apostilled. I'm gonna, so you can rely on it. So who had all the money? Me. Why? Because I was on $47,730 a year in my 20s. I saved most of my salary, put it in fixed term deposits. When it matured, I took it out, didn't put it back in. It was just kept in other savings accounts. I had 4 savings accounts. I also own the investment property, 16 Scott Road. I never lived in it. 16 Scott Road in Tamworth. I actually owned it as an investment because it was a good investment. When I purchased it, I had a very little mortgage, and the rent paid for more than a mortgage, basically, because I put a good chunk of deposit on it. So when I purchased this property, I actually had it rented out for more than a mortgage most of the time, and I paid off more than a mortgage. So when I sold it for 189,000, but like my mortgage was nothing; it was below 100,000. So the 189,000 went into my bank. Let me see. Plus, I did side jobs. I actually used to work labouring on the side for Jeff. And, hang on, let me take this clip off. I did. So, because with the Star Casino, you did 10-hour shifts. So, 40-hour weeks, even though you're actually there for 12. Technically, they say 10 hours, but you're there for an hour before, an hour after anyway. Debriefing and briefing. You're there. So, you're technically doing 12 hours days across 4 days, which means it gives you 3 days off. But it could be like 1 day on, 1 day off. So I used to pick up, when I could, cash jobs on my days off. I worked 7 days a week, right up until I was mugged and robbed November 30th, 2007. That's why I had so much money. I didn't have a social life. Basically, had no social life at all. No friends, no, all I did was work. Here's the contract of the sale for when I was buying. Oh, okay, this is Lentana. So, okay, here we go. The law companies who did the conveyancing, that was my mum. Okay, so back before I was mugged, I purchased a property in 52. It's been actually apostled and everything. So I actually, what I was saying about the property that I purchased on the Central Coast, I did purchase it, but then I got mugged and I had to renege on the sale. That's it there. So who had all the money? Me. Oh, here's PRD Nationwide Realty. That's who I had my place rented through. Hang on. Here we go. My loan. So my mortgage, I paid it out in 2008. There you go. All these, I've got all the originals, but it's all been verified. Now, that's the sale of my property for 189,000. That's the investment property. So that's why I had all this money. That's the company that used to rent out my investment property. This is what government organisations don't understand. This is the second property I bought, but I was mugged after work November 30th, 2007, so I never got to live in it. It was really actually sad. I bought a massive big 5-bedroom house on the coast overlooking the water. I never got to live in it because of Housing Commission. Basically, Housing Commission people mugged and robbed me on the way home from work. So because of them, and I never got any money for this, I lost everything. I never got to move into the house that I brought to live in. Saddest moment of my entire life. I lost more than just my job, being mugged after work. So I'll tell you when the date of this was. When is it? Is it on here? I can't see. Contract land with 2007. That's got my glasses on. I was about to see this. Anyway, it's there. So I've still kept the documents of it. That's all passed through. The person who was the contact was my mother, because my mother worked for the law company that was 27 Burke Street in Tamworth. She also worked for the law company in Sydney, North Sydney, and in Gosford. She ran all 3 of them. This is the contract of sale right here. This was very sad for me. 5-bedroom house brought overlooking the water. And then, thank you, housing. Oh, that's right, because I forgot. Government people. They're so entitled. You should see the government cunts of housing pricks where I live now. Junkies, deadbeat losers. Right. You're right. They're exactly like the types of people that mugged me on the way home from work. That I lost everything for, including my house. Never got to move into it. purchased. Never got to move into it. But that's government for you. That's the little cunts of these pricks. So, here's me. So I used to transfer like large sums across all the time from my savings into fixed term deposits. Got it all the original as well. So we can go to court because New South Wales police are fucking wrong. As you can see, we go to the larger sums about savings or transferring money through, as well as doing, and okay, fixed term deposit, fixed term. I'll get to one large one because I want to get to the documents of Giovanni. Giovanni had nothing. He was a fucking loser living in a share house, a drug-fucked loser living in a share house in Kensington when I met him. Here, there's one of my savings account of 80,000. There's another savings account of 48,000. It just shows, like, so I still had close to, so this is the one that had 140,000, so I still had close to that, so in it as well. You can see that says there 138,615 and 70 cents. So, yeah. Giovanni knew how much money he had. He's the one that had 90,000 in it. Where did he get all his money from? Well, sale of my investment property. I'm not going to go for it all. I had a lot of money. I had the money. Assets, belongings, no debts. Not some little piece of shit Lowy from Adelaide. Not some deadbeat druggo getting fisted in his ass that was living in a share house in Kensington that everyone sucked up. Poor Giovanni. In the last 10 years, poor fucking Giovanni bled me dry. Poor fucking cunt Giovanni. I want to see the prick go to jail for 20 years after what he's done. New South Wales police better start waking up because they're on my radar to take to court for this. You were told the guy committed a crime. Charge him for it. That's why he got little Abigail Ann Francis Noyce to cover for him. Little, let's do Abigail Ann Francis Noyce. He pushed past me and I, fell backwards. Melodramatic. Yeah, walked past her. Yeah, that was a scam. Giovanni Craig Consalvo and Abigail Ann Francis Noyce committed fraud yet again, but why would I expect when New South Wales police aren't arresting people for fraud? They're committing fraud. Let's do an Abigail Ann Francis Noyce again, shall we? Justin walks past next minute. He pushed past me and I fell backwards. Are you fucking kidding me? And do you know why? Let me tell you why. Because she grabbed me in the kitchen and said, stop pursuing this. She threatened me to stop pursuing this. See this? This is a case that Giovanni needs to go to jail for 20 years. That is fraud and forgery. I'm like, no, I won't. Thanks very much, because this has just cost me a fortune in 2 countries. He's not a fucking carer. He committed fraud. He committed forgery. He can be charged for it. So I've gone to walk past and he said, that's what she did. Do you know what police did? And I was like, oh, fuck this. And the officer said, so you could have bumped into it when you walked past it up. Mate, bumped it. Not enough to make you fall over. Anyway, I'm like, oh, look, I've got no time for this. Plead guilty, I bumped into her. And the next minute, it's this massive big trumped up charge. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, look, I've just said I've got no time for this. Just plead guilty. Must have bumped into her and I walked past. And you're making it into something. It's not. Arrest the fucking assholes for fraud. New South Wales police are little cunts. They need to be taken to court. They should be arresting the people for fraud instead of going after the person that exposed people for fraud. Honestly, God, here, this is what's caused this in the last 10 years. Document. So, this one here. Oh, wait. Where's my glasses? George Jacobs. George Jacobs writes that this medical certificate, it's not George Jacobs, it's fake. It's fake. That's my signature. Giovanni Consalvo created so many fake documents, and every time he was taking time off work to use drugs and get fisted. And he was telling people, I'm at home with Justin, he's suicidal. Oh, Justin's suicidal. And he was bringing police, dragging police, so he's making false statements to police. I'm like, what's going on? Like, even, I'm like, I'm going to go. He even used my meditation time, when I used to go off for meditation and unwind, to ring police and go, oh, I'm just a bit worried. And I'm like, what's he up to this week? I'm like, what the fuck is he up to this week? Because he's just told losers I was suicidal. I'm like, no, I'm not suicidal. What's he doing this week? He's trying to get out of work for something. Oh, then you bring his work. Oh, no, Giovanni's not here. I can't put you through. No, Giovanni hasn't been at work for 2 weeks. Where is he? Because I haven't seen him. So where is he? But he was telling his work is at home with me. But I haven't seen him for 2 weeks. Where is he? Whose place is he at? Where's he getting fisted? Where's the drugs? Yeah, this was going on for the entire time since 2009. New South Wales Police haven't arrested him. Australian Federal Police, because it was passed with the Australian Taxation Department, which is Australian Federal Police matter, haven't arrested him. My record hasn't been sponged, and Abigail Ann Francis Noyce is supposed to be charged because that is fraud. You fake something to get a benefit. Okay? There's, again, have a look at that. So I even had people go, oh, my own family again, oh, he's making up stories. Am I making up stories? Well, let's just have a look, shall we? Because I was listed in with this. No, but then Giovanni, to cover this up, oh, he had to lie again. Oh, we had to lie. You got no idea what Justin's put me through. That's funny because Justin was never around. I was never at home. Not until after 2014 when I needed to be at home more because of my immune system. There we go. Fraud. But did he go to jail for it? Oh, no. But the last 10 years, I'm getting my life destroyed. This is what instigated him contacting people in 2017. Beginning of 2017. Making up stories about Justin. Because Justin had a shit attack with Giovanni. Went off his head because he found his signature on everything. That's why I changed my signature and used my other signature. Because Justin's going through documents going, what the fuck have you signed in my fucking name? That's my signature. That's my signature. I'm going through stuff going, my signature's everywhere. He's been forging my signature on fucking everything since I've met him. So Justin went off his fucking head at him for good reason. What everyone saw was Justin going off his head, but no one knows the background that Giovanni committed fraud and fucking bled Justin dry. Like the facts. Because my own mother, who's a useless fucking bitch, didn't do what she was fucking told in 2015. Get your son a fucking solicitor, you idiot. Like his ex-boyfriend committed fraud since 2009, used his name, fucked over your son's life savings. Your son's got nothing because his fuckwit cunt boyfriend, Giovanni Consalvo, committed fucking fraud and forgery, then lied to organisations like Matt O'Rourke, The Reach Out, and Mind Dog. Oh, Justin just needs someone with him like I was. No, he wasn't. He's committed fraud. He's used all you organisations to cover up his fraud. He's just used a whole group of people for 10 years to cover up his fraud so he doesn't have to go to jail. That's what this is about. There's one document. Hey, how many counts of fraud? Let me see. 1 here. 2, 3. Well, that's fraud and forgery because that's actually my signature forged onto it. Let's go through all of them, shall we? How many more counts of fraud and forgery has Giovanni committed? Well, there's quite a few because I've got the fucking documents. All right, but my mum was told this in 2015. What did Carol do? What did she do? A normal mother straight away would have rang law firms and said, look, I don't know what's really going on here, but my son's been lied about. I need someone to represent him to get rid of organisations, even government departments out of his life at the moment. We've got to clear up some mess. Well, I don't know what his ex-boyfriend's done, but there's something that's just gone on since he's met his ex-boyfriend that's not true. That's what a normal mother would have straight away. And why? Oh, my mum said, oh, you can ring law firms. Like, yes, I can, Carol, but I'm not getting believed. Okay, and then you've got the matter of the fact that I was on workers' comp. Okay, well, self-insured because I was mugged and robbed November 30th, 2007, my way home from working in Glasgow Compass Colour 13, which is now getting, so that is now getting twisted to be something more than what it was. It's like, that's been twisted to be something a lot more worse than what it actually was. Why? Because the health issues only started since 2015, and they started when I found out about the fraud. There was actually none of these health issues before 2015. They started after I found a document with my forged signature. Oh, don't worry, Matt O'Rourke knows. Yeah, Matt O'Rourke knows. From Reach Out Organisation? Yeah, but apparently Justin lied. So we're going to involve mental health because he's lying about Giovanni forging his signature. Yeah, you see, I contacted Giovanni's work and said, that's my signature on all these documents. I didn't sign them. That was back in 2016. I said, I just want to know what's going on. because I don't know where my signature's been signed. That is my signature. But we're going to call mental health because he's lying about Giovanni. But then in 2019, they actually... So we're talking about 3 years later, they finally investigated. Hang on a minute. Justin's told the truth. Giovanni actually committed fraud and forgery, and that's Justin's signature. So he told the truth. So they found out that I was telling the truth 3 years later. Yet it hasn't gone to the other organisations that harassed me, like the Reach Out organisation, ACOM, Bobby Goldsmith, social support workers, Mind Dog, disability organisations, or even mental health units. It hasn't gone down to them, and because this wasn't made publicly. Because he wasn't charged, because they let him go quietly. Yeah, but the facts still remain that all the bullshit that's been said about me is not true. And the facts remain that he committed fraud and forgery. But all the other organisations haven't stopped with it. Oh, my mother knows. New South Wales police know. Are they arrested Giovanni yet? Have they arrested the organisations that have now been participant of fraud and forgery? Because, yes, you are well aware that you were a participant of fraud and forgery. Matt O'Rourke from the Reach Out organisation was told in 2016 by myself. You are well aware that you are a participant of fraud and forgery. Your organisation is well aware. I told you. I told you you're only here to cover up Giovanni's mess. And if my mother didn't run around in circles like a fucking loser that she is, this would not have gone on for 10 years. Okay? Every documented fact. Well, don't worry. I've made sure I've sent these to the court. I've sent them everywhere, but Justin's lying. Oh, yes, that's right. Oh, he must tell so many lies. It wouldn't be the fact that this is a massive big fucking scam, would it? I mean, besides myself having injuries and health problems, all these workers, it's a massive scam. And aren't we seeing a lot of NDIS scams at the moment from not people that actually need it, like people living with disability, but those that are making millions of dollars, like that cab driver in the suburbs. They're making millions of dollars getting ahead with government-funded money from NDIS, saying it's going towards people with disability. That's not. I'm the same thing. How much friggin' arseholes are involved? I'm like, I don't need you involved in my life. Why are you trying to get involved? They're coming around going, I'm like, but I don't need you. So you're obviously getting paid to come around. I'm like, but I've told you I don't need you. I don't know what information you're getting. I don't need you. I'm meant to be returning to work in December 2017. You're stopping me returning to work, which is also fraud. You prevented. So if you financially disadvantage somebody, oh, don't worry. I went back to my old job in America. I just went over to the States and worked in my old job there. Yep. Oh, why can't you do it here in Australia? Oh, because you guys have, well, Tall Star Casino to give me my job back then. There you go. Wipe my record clean, because now you fucked me up in the last 2.5 years. Tall Star Casino to give me my job back, so I'll take it happily. Stop involving groups and organisations into my life that's based from fraud, because it is fraud. And start doing what you're fucking told when the person himself told you, but the information you have isn't true. I don't know where you're getting it from. Honestly, over all these years, I'm like, I don't know where people are getting the information from. It's not coming from me. George Jacobs still refused. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. March 2013, I saw a document here based on that. Because he still refused to correct the fact that I was in America in March 2013. George Jacobs. I'm like, listen, I can't be in two places at once. So either I was in Sydney, depressed and suicidal, like you keep telling me, George Jacobs, and he doesn't remember, he's had a brain injury. I'm sick of these people making up these scams. I'm like, no, I was actually in New York and then I went to Mexico. I was going for the whole green card process and I thought, oh, geez, this is back in 2012. I'm like, well, I haven't been to the States since 2001. I better, pop on over and have a look around and look where I want to rent. Look where I want to live. Look where I want to buy. Look where I'm going to make my life. So I was trying to do that back in 2012. And because of moving, I didn't have the time. So, mind you, what I'm actually going through is a shitload of documents that have fraud and forgery all over it. So I said, oh, look, I'll put it off to I'll put it off to 2013. Like, I was looking at how 2013 was planned, and now I was like, oh, look, I'll go over it. Oh, here it is. Get out. I know it's 2018. Let's do one. February 2018. Oh, God. What's this one? 20th of March 2018. Oh, he's had to have a lot of time off screwing around and using his drugs and, getting fisted. This is all for his. Oh, I don't get. Do what you need to do. That's fine. Hey, if you're going to take time off work, go and do it. But don't lie about me to the point that it destroys my entire life. Because that's what, like, hey, none of my business. I don't care. I don't give a shit that my ex-partner was off smoking crystal meth, taking time off work when he was supposed to be at work, getting friggin' 2 hands, fisting his ass and clapping. I don't give a fucking shit. That doesn't affect me. What affects me is the fact that you made fraudulent documents about me, signed my signature on them, and your action. So what you did to go benefit yourself had a major impact on my life. I want to see your ass, Giovanni Consalvo. For every cent that this has cost me in 2 countries for the last 10 years. And if you don't have the money, then your fucking little cunt parents can pay for it. All right, here we go. 18th of February 2013. Yeah. So I'm in America. Here it says, to whom it may concern, this letter is to verify that Giovanni Consalvo was required to act in capacity of a carer for Justin Fleming over the following period. This is fraud that New South Wales cunt police have let him get away with. Oh, don't worry. Where's Carol? Where's my mother who knows all about this for the last 10 years? Where is she? Anyone seen her? Well, we've seen her run around in Sydney and chuck the trailer on the back of her car and see what she can get from her son. Oh, yeah. What are you going to do with that? Because Faith's got nothing. We've seen her do that. But have we seen her turn up with a solicitor? Have we seen her actually do something decent? It's like, Carol, this is what's going on. I'm trying to get this corrected. You're making a mockery of the already existing lies about me. Like, you're really just making a mockery of this scam. Like, so fucking arrest her. Seriously. She knows. She knew about this. She knew that what my ex-partner Giovanni Consalvo was doing. She's known the entire time. Yeah, that's what my mother... So, New South Wales Police, what do they do? What did they do? Huh? Did they arrest Giovanni? No. Has he been charged for the fraud that he's clearly committed? No. You know what they said? Oh, look, he lost his job. He's been punished. So I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Okay. So in that aspect, that guy just murdered someone. Yeah, well, he lost his job for that murder. He's been punished. Fucking wankers. That's basically it. A guy, my ex-partner, commits massive amounts of fraud and forgery. Massive amounts of fraud and forgery. Gets a slap on the wrist and loses his job. And New South Wales Police go, oh, he lost his job. It's like, okay. So every single murderer out there, they should not go to jail. As long as they lose their job, that's enough punishment. A crime's a crime. That's a massive crime. That crime that my ex-partner committed had a huge impact on my entire life in the last 10 years in 2 countries. That's a massive crime that I'm still paying for to date. Where I live, every aspect, the organisations he involved with it. So he's involved organisations to cover up his scam. Yeah, he has. Okay. Oh, and the way it affected the outcome of my compensation, because whether you people like it or not, yeah, I was mugged and robbed after work, November 30th, 2007. However, I still went back to studies and I was still busy doing work, and I can back every bit of it up with TAFE College documents and medical documents. What's in this one? I can back it up. So, when are we going to court? Because I definitely don't want to live where I currently am. And I deserve a lot better than this. And I do deserve to have my money that I worked hard for, that I can prove, reimbursed back to me. Okay. And the damages applied in 2 countries for 10 years. Okay. I didn't cause this. Here we are sitting back going, okay, fine, I've had an injury, that's right. But who keeps involving all these people into my life? I don't need this. You're just making up stories. 10 years. Oh, don't worry. He actually involved Stephanie DeSalis into it as well. Oh, he did. Which I still can't understand why he would contact my biggest enemy, Stephanie DeSalis. Still don't understand that. But he did. He did and got her involved in it. Oh, can you just go and check on Justin? Oh, I've got the text messages. Okay, it's like, what the fuck's going on? Because when it first started, when she popped her head up in 2015, Geo, this is October 2015, she popped her head up, said, because I said to him, I've got to entrap her. I'm going to get her to do something criminal. Like, meaning, well, trying to film her smoking crystal meth, basically. That's all. Or get her to believe that it was and film it and then put it out on social media. Yeah, you might think that's hard, but what I was going to do, walk up to a police station and say, right, this Stephanie DeSalis was told to fuck off in 2006 because of her stalking. Because of her stalking and delusional fantasy, she's running around telling people that we were together. Like, I'm in a joke, so? Like, yeah, so that's a delusional fantasy. I was with my partner, John Cabino, John. That's insane. She kept stalking me for years. She was told to fuck off in 2006. She showed up again in 2008 when she was told to fuck off again. I've had no contact with her. Then she pops up again in 2015. And you're not even at the slightest putting a cease and desist order. You're attacking me? You're attacking me for responding? Fuck, man. New South Wales police need to be dealt with hardcore. Okay? Oh, I'm sorry I've had a gutful of it. Like, you just keep going around in circles. You're useless fucking kids. This is ridiculous. My ex-partner commits fraud and forgery. I speak up about it and said to his employer, look, don't accept that. That's my signature on those documents. I don't know what's going on. Okay? But, like, I'm in the process of return to work. I don't want anything... I didn't want anything disrupting my return to work. I'm meant to be learning to maintain health conditions and injuries and illness so I can return to my job at the mark of December 2017. So I don't want anything disrupting this. Look what you guys just did in the last 10 years. And it's all because of one person. Well, no, not just one. Basically, it's just all because of, me. Sitting back, getting lied about and bullshit being said. And a mother. A mother that gets told to do something but does the complete opposite. I don't think Amanda doesn't know either. Because my twin sister Amanda was told. Okay, what she takes from a conversation is exactly like my mother. You tell them one thing and they twist it around and they come back and say, but I thought you said. No, I didn't say that, Amanda. You're exactly like Carol and Marianne. It's the same thing when I've got to keep repeating, oh, but didn't you bring Brett here for Christmas? I'm like, no, I didn't bring him there for Christmas. This is going around circles. You already told I was lied about on the 19th of December. Brett manipulated and said, oh, he has to come with me everywhere for some of the bullshit. I really didn't give a shit less. Okay, if I had to go and see you fuckwits for Christmas anyway, I was like, fine. I know what the fuck's going on because no one could get me a solicitor to sort this shit out. You were told, he's some fuck buddy, he's a free prostitute. Like, honest to fucking God. You're told one thing and goes, but I thought this. It's like, I don't give a shit. I don't know how many times I got to tell you. Free prostitute. Ex-partner, cunt, committed fraud. Me, sitting back, losing everything. You, cunt family. Absolute cunt family. You, piece of shit. That was asked to get a solicitor back in 2015 and stop this now so I can make sense of what's been said since 2009. You piece of little scummy cunt family. Yeah. You little fucking shit. Because when you've got an auntie like Mary Mahowski that's worked in a legal office, when you've got a mother like Carol Ann Purdy that's worked in a legal office, and I'm sitting back going, what the fuck's gone on? And then if they turn around and go, oh, but what about your mortgage when you're going to buy the place on Taree? Like, and if it's to do with that, good. Start telling me. It's like, and I was still on part salary payment at Star Casino. Part salary payment is considered as an earning. Okay? It wasn't insurance. It wasn't workers' compensation. It was part salary payment. So I can borrow against it. Okay? But nevertheless, I had the amount of money to pay cash for that house in the bank. I was only borrowing for renovations. Next. Like, you start fucking speaking. Because I was trying to make heads and tails of what bullshit, because none of it made any sense. I'm like, what is going on? Because none of this is making sense. And you're coming back to me with information that I'm like, okay, you're not making sense. Because you think something relates to me that doesn't. So we're going around in circles. And I've been saying this for 10 years. It's like, look, Carol, just give me a solicitor. We're going around in fucking circles. And I just need a cease and desist order. This is just going around in circles. What people have come up to me doesn't make any sense to me because it doesn't relate to me. Like I've said. It's like the same shit was like, oh, but Giovanni was a carer. Giovanni wasn't a fucking carer. There's my health injuries, yeah. I don't need a carer to look after him. I take myself to the doctors and get it done. I maintain it with my living home environment like I'm supposed to. maintain it, but I can't in this environment. I can't wait to fucking move. So meant to maintain and learn, even when it comes to the vivid dreams that I have, or the night terrors. Well, it's actually sleep terror, not night terror. I meant to learn to maintain it. That's what all that was. Maintain it. So it's like, okay, the flashbacks. It's like, all right, I can do that. So once you can maintain that, then you can fit in with working fit in with you with disability, and we can work as a return to work process, which I've got the return to work. Remember, I've got the documents that says this was a return to work. Okay, so we can put it all in for return to work, give you 10 years because that's a big injury, and just learn to maintain and live with it. Once you can accept and live with it, you'll have your job back. It's all right, easy. That was the nutshell conversation. You've got 10 years of part salary payment, which means you're not going to get any big, if they had have had to pay me out for a Glasgow Coma Scale 13, that's a lot of money. So you were in an unconscious state because of coming home from work, that's a lot of money. Well, they opted to benefit themselves and pay part salary payment for 10 years. Okay? So I didn't get anything for it. It was part salary payment. It was like, oh, look, the silver line, because even my solicitor said that's really bad. If they were forced to pay you out for your injuries, you would be living on top of the world. But part salary payment, that's bad. That's shit. But the silver lining is, you work with that, work with your medical team, work with maintaining those injuries, and you get your job back. And you'll get your job back for life. Basically, you'll be living with disability, and they can't sack you. They have to work in with your disability. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. Well, that's fine. So I'm not really going to lose any, I lost my house and stuff, but it's not really losing anything. It's just, I've got a goal to go to in December 2017. I'll go back to my studies then in the meantime. Work with things it's even the only times things like that will only change if the company shuts down. Basically, if during that period of time, if the company folds and whatever and goes bankrupt, well, then that's the only loophole they can get out of this. And it's like, yes, the casino, as if they're going to fold. So you'll have your job. 10 years' time, you'll have your job back at the increased rate, and you will have that job, which means you be going to an older man, like you have that job. Like I was like, fuck. That is job security where you would never lose at a rate of huge amounts of money per year. It's like, oh, that's perfect. Because it means they then would have to fit in with my disability. But you stopped it in 2017. You guys just stopped all this, everything. So they found the loophole. Oh, they found it because what police did in 2017. What police actually did in 2017 helped my ex-employer fuck me over in workers' comp. What New South Wales police did. Yeah, they did. They completely fucked it up for me. It's like, you're an idiot. Like, you're an absolute fucking idiot. You got wrong information, you harassed me over it. You're an idiot. So, Margaret and Rob, November 30th, 2007, with a return to work in place to return to work in December 2017. Part salary payment in the meantime, which means I don't get paid out for the actual injury itself, which was the Glasgow Coma Scale 13. Fair enough. All the damage to my left eye or back and so forth. It means I've got to figure out with my own salary. So I was getting part salary payment to pay these and maintain them. Go and seek. There was only a small little packet of money that they would put towards medical. Okay? So it had to be approved. And most of it, that was like things I needed was like, no, I had to pay for it myself. So I did. So I was like, okay, fine. That still means that I'm going to have my job back. So it's not a great loss when I've still got my assets and belongings and savings and car and so forth. And there is a return to working process. I'm going to go back to my studies. And, well, okay, the worst situation was losing the house. 52 Lantana Road in Yamana Heights. That was the worst situation like that. Was the worst thing because I just bought a place to move into and I didn't get to move into it. I had to renew on the sale because of the mugging. So because I wouldn't be living here, I'll be living in a 5-bedroom house overlooking the ocean. But Housing Commission, another government organisation. Yeah, you see, maybe I should be focusing. I focused all this wrong. The people who mugged me after work were from a Housing Commission area. So you're responsible for your tenants. Well, your tenants destroyed my life, so maybe I should be suing New South Wales Housing Commission. Actually, yeah, it's not too bad considering you guys haven't stopped fucking my life over. It's actually not too bad if I actually take on New South Wales Housing Commission. I think it's a good idea.